Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys checking today's video out and spending some time with me. Guys, have a brand new lure for y'all today. I'm going to show you called the Scamper rig. This thing is brand new. It's not even hardly on the market yet. You've probably never seen it before. Guys, this thing is one of the most impressive piece of fishing equipment I have ever seen before. So I'm going to show you guys what it is. I'm going to show you how to rig it, explain to y'all what it does, and I can promise you guys will want to pick up a couple packs of them because I am highly impressed with this thing. Anyway, guys, before we get started, just a couple quick housekeeping tips. Just want to invite everybody to please consider hitting that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated. It's free and easy. And also, if you're getting ready for spring, guys, the best way you can do it is go by fishthemoment.com. Check out one of my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns that I build for Fish the Moment. These are great resources to learn more about your favorite lake, to get some good fishing spots you can go to right off the bat. Tips and advice on how to fish those spots that you can download to your fish finder. So I'll put the Fish the Moment lake map breakdown link in the description of this video, and really appreciate that. Okay guys, I'm going to show you what this is and rig it up and everything. Now guys, here it is. This is the Core Tackle, the new Core Tackle Scamper rig. Now, a lot of you guys are familiar with Johnny Schultz and Matt Steffen, who started Core Tackle. They've got an incredible, really, truly innovative product line. You guys have heard me talk about the Ozark rig last week and the Hover rig. This is their newest one out, guys, called the Scamper rig. Just came out. What it is basically a straight shank trocar hook. Comes in two different sizes, a 2/0 and a 4/0. And it's got the trademark Core Tackle design on there. It's got the lead on the shank of the hook. Now, there's a couple different things that this does. Number one, it eliminates the visual effect of a jig head on a bait, which is a strike detractor a lot of times. And by putting the weight on the shank of the hook, it allows your lures to come alive. It's just like the balance of it allows those lures to dart a lot. And that's what the Scamper rig does here. I'm gonna show you guys how to rig it up. Now, to be honest with you guys, I have not taken this to the lake before. I've got a creek by my house, and I went down there yesterday to check it out and fish it, and just to see how it looks. Guys, I have never seen anything. The only thing that's even close would be the Hover rig that Core Tackle makes, but this Scamper rig, it makes these things like flukes or some type of a small swim bait just completely come alive. Now, I'm gonna show you how to rig it. It's really, really easy to rig. It's, you just thread it on. Just take, one I was using was a fluke, just a regular Zoom Super fluke. And, but you can use, whatever soft plastic you like. Even, we'll get into some other stuff like soft plastic stick baits and floating worms. But just come straight through it, about halfway through, and then bring everything up and bury all the weight inside the head to make it straight like that. So that's the way it's gonna set up like that. Now guys, what this does, and it's just got to have something to do with the balance. It makes this thing vibrate like a crankbait coming through the water. And when I started experimenting with it a little bit, guys, you can walk this thing just like a Xerospook. It's like the way that the internal weight is on this thing. I was taking it out there. I've got it on a spinning rod. I got this Megabass Addermine 8-pound test Seagarn Vizex, and I was twitching it just like a jerkbait. And when you twitch the thing, it just darts side to side, just like that, perfectly side to side. I mean, and then when you reel it faster, it'll just go like that. And along with the vibrating action, it looks like a live bait fish in the water. So this is one lure category that I was using, just the fluke, but it's really up to your imagination on the different type of lures you want to use with it. Now, here's the thing about it. It's like, I fished long enough to know that what the potential of a lure is as far as the action it creates. And this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as fishing the Scamper rig like on a fluke. I can tell you one of the things this thing is going to be awesome for, more than anything else, is the dang floating worm. It's like floating worms, one of the big keys on a floating worm is to get them to walk side to side, and you have to rig it just right. And it's very difficult to do with the traditional, worm hook that most people use. Guys, I can promise you, if you'll be able to put the Scamper rig this spring on a floating worm and make that floating worm just freaking come alive in the water. I'm gonna guess, like I said, the fluke style baits, floating worms, you can do it with like a trick worm, like a Zoom trick worm, Cinco, rib swim bait, anything like that. Any type of a soft plastic swim bait that you want to come alive, gonna try it out. Now these guys are not available at Tackle Warehouse yet. You can get them at Core Tackle. I'm going to include the Core Tackle link in the description of this video. You guys can click on that link and you can order them. And also, guys, I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link for the Core Tackle hover rig and the Ozark rig in there that we've been talking about. But guys, this is one of those things, man. Matt and Johnny, they are freaking geniuses. You know, they're awesome fishermen to begin with, but this is one of the truly innovative, lure designs that have come out in the past 20 years in bass fishing. This entire Core Tackle weighted, shank on the hook thing. This is allowing lures to actually be angler friendly to come alive. Now, that's one of the hardest things to do is when you're learning to bass fish and when you're teaching somebody to bass fish, learning how to manipulate a lure and how to impart action on a lure and how to make a lure look like it's coming in alive, that requires a lot of skill. It requires a lot of wrist manipulation and cadence and movement. But the cool thing about these Core Tackle products is they're very user friendly. And anybody can do it. It doesn't take much action to put action on them. It's like the action is built in the heads. It's very easy for somebody that doesn't know much about fishing to use. And one piece of advice I'll probably give you on this, and I'll let you know in the future, is when you're fishing something like the Scamper rig or the hover rig, that the action is so radical on it, sometimes it'll twist the line because your bait's just everywhere. I'm going to experiment with a really small barrel swivel, maybe about a foot above it, to eliminate that line twist. I'll let you guys know how it works. And another thing about, fishing a bait like the Scamper rig, when you're doing something like this, I've, seen this with my own fishing and plastic, floating worm fishing, is when you put a little barrel swivel above it, it's almost like the fish see that and they think that this is a bait fish chasing like some type of a little, creature in the water. And it sort of like triggers that predatory instinct on them. It's sort of a theory I got. But anyway, guys, check it out. New Core Tackle Scamper rig, man. You guys are gonna love this thing. I'm gonna be fit. It's one of those perfect spring baits, like for April. So I got a bunch of them. I'm excited to try them. I'll let you guys know how my success is on them, and really appreciate it. But anyway, guys, links in the description if you want to get you one. We'll talk later.